Always a great pleasure to be with my friends from Pioneer here at World Dairy Expo. Again, we're in the middle of the action here in the Alliant Energy Center Expo Hall, World Dairy Expo 2018. A lot of conversations up and down the aisle. No matter where you're from in the United States or around the world, Mother Nature always kind of gets it in the last laugh when it comes to what we're going to end up harvesting. Dr. Bill Mahanna is along with us from Pioneer. Now let's talk just in general terms, what you've seen, Bill, not just in the upper Midwest or Wisconsin, but you travel the globe looking at things. What's this year been like?
Variable, like every year. And as we were talking before we got on here, I was down in Stephenville, Texas recently, and they went through a tremendous drought, really planting low populations for the amount of water they have left. So I guess that's what I want to talk about, is the variability that we see in terms of the crop, and how do we try to adjust to that as nutritionists. So we've got, we know about the growing season is going to have an effect, especially early on during the vegetative growth of the plant. It's going to have an effect on fiber digestibility. Typically, if it's drier than normal during that period, fiber digestibility will be higher, and if it's wetter than normal during that period, it'll be lower. But we have a lot of variability even within fields, so how does a nutritionist get their arms around it?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things we're looking at is there are some more sophisticated laboratory methods today that better help us understand the variability, and even things like late season plant health, how that, not only the front part of the growing season, but how late season plant health will affect digestibility.
Sure.
So there's a thing called fermentrics that are available from a number of the laboratories, and it's an analysis where you can actually look at the digestion rates and create digestion curves for both fiber and starch.
Okay.
And corn silage being really a grass plant with high moisture corn hooked onto it, we really need to understand the fiber and understand the rate of digestion of starch. So I think that's something that producers and nutritionists should think about, is some of these more sophisticated tools, so we get a handle on how that corn silage is going to feed, rather than waiting 2 months and let the cows tell us.
Yeah. So when do we take the sample, Bill? Is it in the field? Is it in the bunk? Is it after it's been packed? Tell me more about this fermentrics.
Yeah, that's a good question, Pam. I think the best time to do it is right out of the field. Take a sample out of the field. Because if the fermentation is somewhat normal, and most of these guys are doing a real good job of packing today and using an inoculant and using oxygen barrier film, guys are doing a great job. So, we can get a better handle on these digestion rates. Now, the only thing that's going to change during the fermentation is the starch digestion is going to change over time. Whatever that fiber digestibility was at harvest is what it will be forever.
Okay.
It will not change.
Okay.
Starch digestibility will. But that fiber digestibility is going to be so important to intakes that to get a handle on how that crop is feeding this year is really going to help nutritionists a lot.
Is it an expensive test? You mentioned there's more labs out there. How widespread is this technology availability? And then do I do it more than once?
Yeah, another good question is, it's a little expensive. You're talking, probably by the time you take the sample, handle all the other things, probably in that neighborhood of $150 or more. But what does that mean to a big dairy in terms of response? And I think, I think getting that sample, and also sometimes we can do it not only on the feedstuffs, we can do it on a TMR.
Okay, all right.
So sometimes, we don't want to do it a whole lot of time. We use it a lot in Pioneer for troubleshooting. Okay. But also you can use this fermentrics when the cows are milking very, very well. Yeah. And then you got kind of an ideal shape of these curves. Cows are really milking well. Here's what the gold standard is. Right. If we start to have cows going south on us for some reason, we can look at the TMR. Okay, where's the problem? Is the starch too digestible, not as digestible? It really can help us fine tune it.
Yep. Think about how many times you may change up sources. It's not just in the bunk or bag. Maybe it's a byproduct feed or something like that. To Dr. Mahanna's point, do you want to pay for that test and get some answers up front, or do you want to watch your milk check tell you? So that's what it's all about. Again, Bill, where can we find some of this information? Talk to our local Pioneer representative?
Yeah, we can help people find a lab, but there's another number of labs in Wisconsin across the country that have access to this fermentrics analysis.
All right, Dr. Bill Mahanna, turning you on to fermentrics here at World Dairy Expo. Another tool that you might want to take a look at with this variability of weather and in turn variability of feed. Come and visit with my friends here at Pioneer, won't you please? They're right in the middle of the Alliant Energy Center Expo Hall during World Dairy Expo 2018 with Dr. Bill Mahanna. It's the fabulous Farm Babe Pam Yankee.